Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back through daily crypto news and analysis, and I hope everybody is having a great Monday. Today we're going to be talking about Hedera and Hbar, so sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I do just want to ask guys to please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely, and of course I always do greatly appreciate that. Now today, guys, the time has come. I have to admit, Hbar is a scam. No, but seriously, I've been seeing a ton of FUD behind Hbar. Honestly, when we are talking about the price right now, I want you guys to all realize that people are going to dwell on things and kind of look, behind the scenes and try to find some sort of massive FUD behind Hbar because the price isn't pumping. People are not making money off of Hbar right now. There has been some money made off of this token, but for the most part, comparing this to other assets, it's not an incredible, ROI asset right now. Of course, I've addressed how we are going to get to $3 to $6 or, some high targets this year, but that's still not good enough. People are not going to see it until, of course, the price starts to actually rise. But, you guys do see on the macro chart, what has happened in the past. We have, a nice overall structure here, continued by massive sideways trading, followed by a breakout event, massive downward trend, sideways trading for a little bit, of course a massive breakout again, and downward trend, sideways trading. What do you think is going to happen next? Of course we're going to break out eventually, but until then, we gotta, address a few things. So today I seen a ton of FUD on my timeline regarding Hbar, and I did say the FUD around Hbar is piling up. I look at this as bullish. As more and more individuals become bearish, frustrated, fearful even, I look at the long-term goal. I am so bullish on crypto this year and even more bullish on Hbar. If you guys don't know, I've been addressing the bull run that we eventually will lead to. Of course, a lot of sideways trading moments are on Bitcoin right now. Like, when we're talking about Bitcoin's price action, I've been addressing it for the last, I don't even know how long. I've been talking about it since the summertime. I've been talking about it even before the summertime. But right now, my focus is on Bitcoin because although, right now everyone is waiting for their altcoins to break out and make them a ton of money, I do believe that we will see a Bitcoin season first, which will lead us to, of course, an alt season. I said yesterday I'm watching a lot of OG legacy assets, more so EOS, Dash, Litecoin, things like that, even Bitcoin Cash. A lot of these are starting to break out, which is telling me that a lot of, money is going to flow into altcoins very, very soon. In fact, these are the last to run, but they are seeing a lot of strength right now, which tells me there is a little bit of a focus point on the altcoin market. This means that we will see a lot of money pouring into alts very, very soon. But of course, a rally is around the corner for even Bitcoin as well. We have been watching, even Ethereum closely because Ethereum has been outperforming Bitcoin. I've said Ethereum could possibly have the market run with it. But again, the focus point is Hbar and what is going on with Hbar. Everyone thinks that, Hbar is one of those assets that is just not moving with the rest of the market because the CEOs, the founding members, they are all dumping on us, right? We've seen this. In fact, there was this tweet that got posted. Shocking evidence. Hedera insiders have been dumping ruthlessly on retail Hbar buyers since day one. The forecast was, sunny for dumping Hbar every day for the third largest insider. Guys, I want you to realize that all the selling happening on Hbar has already been outlined within white papers, within documents, within meetings as well. We're going to be addressing this. We're going to actually be talking about it. And I even said, each and every one of these sales were documented with underlying conditions in the documents behind Hbar. These have been discussed and covered in specific meetings as well. The Hedera team has been transparent about this for a while. It's also not directly correlated to price. Everybody thinks that, them selling these tokens is going to drop the price drastically. You got to realize that first off, yes, this is a lot of Hbar being sold, but look at the price. I mean, even though this has continued in a massive upward trend, there was a lot of selling happening. If this selling directly correlated to price action, it would have been dumping throughout this entire time, basically being worth nothing, right? So with this in mind, I also said, take the run to 50+%, 50 cents plus, for example, or even the previous all-time high before that, we moved to those prices even with the sell pressure involved. The main issue is the timing of the moves on HBAR with the market conditions in mind. And the reason why I said this is, let me open Bitcoin real quick in a new tab so that we can kind of address this real quick. Sorry, I went right past HBAR. So here we have HBAR, right? Let's go back a little bit in time. So first off, let's address the previous all-time high before 50 cents. So here's that all-time high back in April 12th to be specific. Okay, during this time, the market wasn't too bad. In fact, we still had a nice rally across the board for some altcoins. But let's go back in time here. So April 12th, here we have the Bitcoin top, followed by is a massive downward trend on Bitcoin, all the way down to the bottom in July. Wow, pretty significant. But wait, no, this price action of us being in this massive downward trend was the founders selling on us. Absolutely not. Same with, of course, the all-time high back in September 14th to be specific, when we did hit 50, it's like almost 50 and a half cents, right? Now remember the date, September 14th. Let's go back to Bitcoin real quick. So again, we didn't top out on Bitcoin until November 7th, but let's go back to September 15th. Here is a little bit of some nice price action movement throughout this time. A lot of altcoins during this time were actually going a little bit crazy as well, due to the fact that Bitcoin dominance was actually dropping while we were having these nice spikes. If anybody knows market technicals, going back to 2017 and 2018 as a matter of fact, so let's actually go back here. So a lot of altcoins during this time actually didn't pop and make all-time highs until, January 6th. In fact, an altcoin that we talk about a lot on this channel, XRP, didn't top around this point, in general. So again, what actually happened here? Well, first off, Bitcoin topped out earlier at around the 15th of December, but during this time, Bitcoin dominance was dropping drastically, so any sort of spikes were bringing massive amounts of money into altcoins, and altcoins really started to jump. Similar structure being printed here, going back as far as, September 15th. Now, what followed by this was Bitcoin dominance, of course, spiking, and then we had this deep correction, which brought us down to about like 40.6K, almost 40.7K, sideways trading, of course, dragging alts down. Even, I want to real quick address the fact that, again, this was September 14th on HBAR. Let's go back to QNT, right? Because QNT is in a very similar structure to HBAR. There's no correlation between these two. They are not directly tied to one another. They are just two altcoins and, of course, a Bitcoin-driven market. So let's go back here. So again, September 15th was the time where, HBAR really topped out. September 9th was the day that QNT topped out. And since then, look at this massive downward trend followed by sideways momentum. No altcoin is dropping because of the founders selling their stacks. That's not the case at all. We are in a Bitcoin-driven market. In fact, altcoins are just not ready yet. I think that there's a few altcoins setting the stage, but for the most part, a lot of altcoins are stuck in the similar fashion of HBAR. This is also why I say make sure that you know market technicals. We are not moving because of selling on, the founders. We are not moving because of we are still in a Bitcoin-driven market, and Bitcoin, for the most part, has been in a micro bear market. And the reason why I say micro bear market is just the idea that we've been in a massive accumulation pattern since, of course, let's go back real quick, since around this November timeframe. In fact, since November of us topping out, we have just been in this massive downward trend, sideways momentum, similar to a lot of altcoins since September. Now, with this in mind, we also see here, I'm sure you have all read and seen, the HBAR price thread. A lot of the community are writing this off as FUD, but I'm not sure if I'm happy about some of the information, contained within. Although I want to say right now, all of this information is fully transparent. You could easily find all this information. And we do see here, let me put it this way. When you have to turn comments off on a post of yours so that others can't share a different perspective, that should tell you all you need to know. The sales were public info. They've been discussed in town halls before. The grants are normal for a business. And I want you guys to all realize that yes, you actually can't even respond to any of this. Only those that HBAR price actually mentions in this can respond. That is an issue, okay? I want you guys to realize what is happening here. And it's not me trying to save face for Hedera or HBAR. I'm not endorsed by them at all. I'm not paid by them. I still hold my HBAR. I haven't sold any, and I'm not trying to save my investment by talking about HBAR or anything like that. I'm just trying to share to you guys, this is why you should do your own, research. Understand what you hold, understand the sales behind these tokens. In fact, here is a video. Okay, why and how does Hedera sell HBAR? And this is from Hedera themselves. Listen closely to what Mance is telling you guys.
Are we selling for tax purposes, and sort of how does that work?
Yeah. Okay, well, so let's just dive into that then. So of course, Hedera has employees like any other company, and Hedera pays those employees a mixture of cash and tokens, and we call them RCUs, restricted coin units. And similar, sort of by analogy, you could think of them as restricted stock units, and in a similar way, there's a withholding requirement for the RCUs on behalf of the employees. So Hedera, on a monthly basis, when it's preparing to pay the employees their restricted coin units, their RCUs, it withholds the appropriate number of coins to cover the taxes for those employees. And then it immediately pays cash out of our cash accounts directly to the IRS. We're primarily talking about US-based employees in this case. So it pays the cash that's required to the IRS. It then takes those coins that have been withheld and slowly over time does sell those coins into the market, but not directly into the market through exchanges. So there is a third party, and I'm glad that we have the opportunity to discuss this, because I know there's been a lot of confusion and speculation in the market about how this works and what's going on. It's not the case that Hedera does anything to time the market in selling these coins to recoup the cash needed to pay the taxes. There's a third party that Hedera partners with to sell the coins to, and then on a daily basis, that third party sells a small number of coins, the same number of coins every day.
Now, I want you guys to realize what he just said. The same number of coins every single day. Now, I'm not saying all of these transactions are the same amount. No, absolutely not. But there is a significant amount that always comes up, which is 2 million and 1 million. We don't know specifically what all of these mean, but, there is a lot that goes into this. For an example, employee, compensation, there's SAFT, there's token releases overall, which could be outlined, or I should say could be read, and it's all outlined within, of course, the HBAR economics white paper. They really kind of break all of this down, and yes, these are estimated numbers through 2025, but a lot of this is broken down. It's fully transparent. I want you all to realize that everything that Hedera does is 100% transparent. This is also why, a lot of the information that is getting, kind of spread around in terms of FUD, this wouldn't even be possible on most networks because, a lot of them are not as transparent as Hedera at all. But listen closely to the rest of this video, of course.
And it really doesn't matter what is going on in the market. There is absolutely zero timing of the market in the selling of these tokens into the market to recoup the costs of the taxes, and that's it. I realize that there has been a lot of chatter, and some people have sort of speculated that Hedera is selling into bull runs, or the increasing in the token price. It's just simply not true. It's totally inaccurate. There's zero timing of the market, and the number of coins is kept relatively small and sold every day to recoup these costs associated with the taxes.
And there you have the full breakdown. I want you all to realize that not all this information that gets, thrown out here is researched. It's not fundamentally correct. This is no hate towards anybody, no disrespect towards anybody. I just want you guys to realize that there's a lot of misread information that gets thrown out there. People are frustrated. People are upset with the price action, trying to figure out why there is no price action on HBAR. It's not because of the tokenomics. It's not because the inflation of tokens. It's not because we are seeing sell-offs happening at the perfect times of the markets, because this image right here is extremely misguided. We're seeing these tokens token cells being placed directly on, spikes on the candles to make it seem like they are selling at the perfect times of the markets, to make sure that the, coin supply is getting sold at the right time. They're perfectly timing the market. It's just illogical. It's not correct. And I really do think that, one, these individuals that are spreading this news should be more, I would say responsible in the sense on how they are portraying this information, but also providing a base point on, why the selling is actually happening. And I do think that it is very responsible from anybody's perspective to actually do their own research. I could have found out about the selling, so easily. It takes minutes to do the research on why there is this selling happening on, this network. And these conditions were outlaid multiple times. So if you are a long-term holder of HBAR, you know about the selling. You know about the token releases. We've known about the token releases all the way, through 2025, going back as far as, even 2019 and 2020. So with that being said, I hope that kind of sums up a few things. HBAR is going to have still a great year ahead. It's not anywhere near, any other altcoin in terms of the differences here. These are all similar in the sense on their positions in this market currently. There's no altcoin that is doing massively, well currently in this market. There's a few that are jumping out a little bit in terms of double-digit figures percentage-wise, but everybody's trying to compare HBAR to Solana, to this, to that. Oh, Avalanche had an incredible year. Solana had an incredible year. Cardano had a similar, you got to realize that there's over 18,000 coins in this market. What we are seeing in the top 100, is just the bare minimum. So think about it like this. HBAR is not the only altcoin that is not pumping drastically. There is still altcoins that are at all-time lows within this market and are not doing, fairly good still. Look at the Sandbox, right? The Sandbox just recently had massive news released on HSBC utilizing it as the metaverse token, right? But look at the chart. Again, similar structure. It topped out in November. It's in a massive downward trend, trading sideways. A lot of these altcoins are in a very similar structure. You got to look at the market fundamentals. I don't think that there's enough people out there right now that are doing, one, fundamental research, and also two, technical market research as well. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.